Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Miasin. Today I'm actually going to be showing you my current Cyber Dragon Trap deck profile. So this will not include the support from the structure deck. And at the moment I'm making this video, we only have the first wave announced. So no second and third wave. Like I said, second wave should be, from maybe 1 week from now. And the third wave should be early May. So yeah, and right now we're pretty much only using cards that would be out in Lightning Overdrive. And yeah, I mean, everything else should be TCG legal, so before we start, you already know it. Friendly reminder to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So the first card is a card that isn't even a Sidra, but it's a good card, so I mean, why not? And it's Dino Wrestler Pankratops. It just applies a lot of pressure on your opponent, and it kind of clashes with Cyber Dragon in a way, but since Cyber Dragon isn't a core aspect, I can get it, it's not really the core of the deck, you don't really have to focus on that too much, and Pankratops can just be the card that does all the popping, all the just soft jumping over monsters, and on top of like Mega Fleet, you have so many ways of clearing cards like Appaloosa, just other kind of form of negate, so this card is absolutely magnificent, and I think it definitely is worth at least main decking or side decking. That's the at least part, but yeah. Anyways, for the Cyber Dragons, I'm playing, of course, one Cyber Dragon. It's not that I'm close-minded on playing more, it's just that with this configuration of a deck list, it just cannot make sense to me to play more, because all it would really end up doing is increase your brick hands, your unplayable hands, and the amount of times you're going to say, oh yeah, but the only reason I lost is because I bricked and I couldn't do anything about it. But then when you truly look at your hand, it's because you had like 2 Cyber Dragons, just too many monsters, and absolutely no way of playing through your opponent's board. So even though you think that you didn't really, you lost because you didn't do anything incorrectly, maybe the deck building was what made you lose and not necessarily how you played. And that's the theory that actually led to me even cutting Cyber Dragon down to 1 in the first place, in case you were wondering. So yeah. Anyways, Fear, the only reason why you're playing this is because of the chain blocking, the fact that it's a level 4, I guess, for an extra overflow pop, and Core plus Fear is actually pretty good. It makes Anaconda Rampage, mill 2, recycle back the Core, also get you an overflow if you're going first, so applies a lot of pressure and allows you to break through boards going second, I guess you can say. And then the next year, it's mandatory because it revives back Rampage, and it actually has its applications with Puzzlomino. It's just that it's not needed. It's not super broken, and you can live without it, but yeah. Anyways, triple core, triple hurts. I mean, the 3 core is super obvious, but the 3 hurts, it's because I'm main decking Dinomischus. However, if you weren't main decking a card like Dinomischus, Forbidden Drop, or Galaxy Soldier, I would actually recommend playing hurts at only 2. I had actually just hovered over a card that I will be talking about very soon enough. It's Opabinia, but yeah, hurts, if you're not playing any discard outlet cards, it's not really worth playing just too many copies of it, so yeah. Anyways, for the fusion spells, not playing the Dragoon package, it would make the deck breaky for no reason. I know I showed it in the OTK version, but in the OTK version, you're already not playing an optimal deck anyways, so I was like, what does it really matter? I might as well just make it a win more deck at this point, because it's not competitively correct. However, this actually has really, really good theory behind being played competitively, so yeah, I mean, the fact that just, I think 5 people played it at YCS Niagara, and almost every single one of them topped, means so much. It wasn't just me, by the way. I'm like the creator of the deck, but it was me with Etipat, Simon, some other people, but yeah. Anyways, Overload Fusion and Cyberload are the only fusion spells that you need, and then 3 Emergency, no Repair Plant, because it's not a starter. You can only use it while you already have a Cyber Dragon card in your grave. I know there's kind of a way to make Repair Plant a bit better when you have like that, for example, and like a bunch of traps, like Trap Trick, Punishment, etc., because you can send Seeger from your extra deck to the graveyard, but it's just a bit whack, because first of all, you're losing a copy of Seeger almost permanently, unless you can use something like a Hertz to get it back from your graveyard to your extra deck, which is a bit sketch. I mean, it's kind of like going Toad, recycle back Toad. I mean, it's so much better just recycling back a Swap Frog at this point, so it's the same principle. And also on top of that, Repair Plant wouldn't search me a card that Emergency doesn't search already. For example, when you're playing Galaxy Soldier, it's great because at least you have more options. Emergency cannot search Galaxy Soldier, whereas Repair Plant can. So, for me, it's just that Repair Plant wouldn't do anything additional, like as a bonus. So yeah. Anyways, a Pot of Disparity or Prosperity or whatever you want to call it. A bunch of cards in my extra deck are just not really needed, like Infinity Nova and Puzzlomino are the ones that I usually banish because I can clearly win without them. They're only there when I'm getting into a top deck mode where my opponent could actually win the game if he Dusters or Lightning Storm or even leaves me, just so I have that Omni Negate, because nothing else in my deck can Omni Negate, which is kind of unfortunate, but I definitely do not believe that they are needed. They're just kind of bonuses, so yeah. Anyways, for the trap card, and that's the best part, that's my favorite part, 3 Ice Dragon's Prison. This card is insanity for so many reasons. So you actually, again, like I said, you have the freedom of choosing whether you want to banish the card that you revived or not, meaning that you could actually just summon it back just to keep it on the field. And I already explained in one of my tip videos how summoning back an Aleister and not banishing it could actually end up hurting your opponent if he's playing invoke cards way more than if you did banish the card, because if the Aleister is banished, then the old invocation can just get it back, so it's not ideal. But in this instance, I mean, Ice Dragon's Prison could actually revive back a monster, and then you can link it to Lina and then crash it, search Cyber Dragon Core, and get an engine going just off of trap cards. Same thing with Dinomischus, and as a matter of fact, there are 2 cards that I kind of recommend with Dinomischus. There is Link Spider, ironically, because, or I mean, sorry, not necessarily Link Spider, but you could actually play Imduk because it actually at least has an effect, whereas Link Spider kind of doesn't, and you would be able to make Anaconda with kind of like a Dinomischus, and then the monster that you actually revive back off of Ice Dragon's Prison, you know, either that or the Lina. So at least these are not only trap cards that interrupt your opponent potentially, but also get you bodies on the field, and you can say Crackdown follows the exact same logic, which is really nice. And then Trap Trick, because it allows you to access pretty much everything in your deck outside of Unending, Nightmare, and Solemn Strike, because obviously they are not normal trap cards. Overflow, this is searchable by Trap Trick and Core, so if you can actually get to this card to pop it, it would be absolutely beautiful, and this is the main utility of Unending Nightmare. In case we're wondering, it's just you can always get your money back with Overflow, on top of making your opponent have to pay a lot of money, which is the best feeling ever, man. And then 3 Punishment, because even though the extra deck is kind of nice to have access to, it's not the most needed thing out there, because you can kill your opponent over time, and that's the important thing. I'd rather have a 90% chance to win the game, but win the game really slowly, rather than have a 70% chance to win the game, but win it in a matter of seconds. So yeah, I want to increase my win rate, not increase, or I guess, you know, make my win faster. That's just, no, that's not the way to go, but yeah. Anyways, Compulse, like I said, Unending, and then the 3 Solemn Strike. Broken card going second. Compulse is really good at bouncing back your own core in case it gets negated, or also, sometimes you have Core in the graveyard, but not Core access in your hand, so you can go banish Core, summon Core, and then compulse it back, and then next turn you can go normal effect. Obviously, you can't do it in the same turn because it's only 1 effect per turn, and only once that turn. I hate when Konami does that, but we can't always have everything. Anyways, for the extra deck, I feel like 3 Mega Fleet might be a bit too much. You could definitely cut this down to 2 maybe, because it's just that I really need some, I guess, banish fuel for Prosperity. So usually it's like I said, these 3, and then one of the copies of Mega Fleet, probably a copy of Fortress, because not a lot of people play machine decks, and then the final card could actually be the second Entis, or I don't know, maybe the Relinquished Anima. You know, we never know. But yeah, anyways, Fortress, double Rampage, double Entis, basically only for punishment. You could actually try to squeeze in the Wind Pegasus at Ignister, it's just not really needed. And then Infinity Nova with Puzzlomino. That's kind of like the only way to summon them, because, well, summon this package, because you don't actually play a second level 5 monster in the deck. You could argue that Hertz can be a level 5, but it's just super niche. You would have to summon it off of Core's effect, which is really sketch, or you would have to basically face a mirror match, but at this point it's ridiculous. And I'm not trying to summon back my opponent's Hertz, because they would actually get the trigger, the search, and not me, so it's dumb. But yeah, and besides, in the mirror match you're trying to kill them, you're not really trying to control. Anyways, Seeger, Lina, Anaconda, and Relinquished Anima. Now, the idea section is something that I usually kind of show pretty much the same thing every single time, but I'm still going to go over it because it's always kind of interesting. So, Nibiru, Sphere Mode, Eltanin, Phantasme, Inspector Border. This is only searchable if you play Repair Plant, otherwise it's not. Dry is a very interesting one in case you want to make Infinity and Nova a bit more often. Like I said, you really don't have to, because your main win condition is just killing with Rampage. As hilarious as this may sound, even though this is not an OTK deck, you're killing your opponent very, like, I mean, you're dealing a lot of damage more often than the OTK deck, because at least you're focusing on consistency. And the OTK, if you didn't draw a really good hand, it's not like you could OTK with a bad hand anyway. So yeah. Anyways, double Entis, whatever, Infinity. Sorry, I was there. I'm like, what the frick? I already went there. But yeah, anyways, Ash Merkaba or Radon. There is a combo for that, but I'm not a really big fan. It doesn't come up that often, and it's only really when you're going first. Lightning Storm, Heat Wave is a really good one, and it almost deserves its own video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But when you're going first, you can pretty much kind of make it so your opponent can't really, you know, put a lot of pressure on you. So in a way, it kind of protects you from Lightning Storm evenly and stuff like that. And then Forbidden Drop evenly, Heavy Storm Duster, and Opabinia, which is a really nice one if you're playing Paleozoic Cambro roster. But again, these cards basically deserve their own videos. I know in my interaction video, which isn't really a combo video, I kind of already talked about Cambro roster, but Opabinia is also very interesting. But yeah, anyways, that's all I had to say in Showcase for this Cyber Dragon deck profile. If you guys have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.